Hello everybody and welcome to Cinema Savvy. It's myself George bringing you a brand new movie review, and today we are going to be reviewing Prey, which is the brand new Predator film which is going to be streaming unfortunately on Disney Plus this Friday the 5th of August, Hulu if you're in the America, and why I said unfortunately we'll get into some of that, but it's nothing to the quality of the film. Of course, it's directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who you may have seen direct 10 Cloverfield Lane. He did the pilot to the very first episode of The Boys. And of course, it's a Predator film set 300 years in the past. It's not a sequel, it's not a spin-off. It's almost like a retelling, a new story, something different. I don't know, I'm going to get into it, but before I start giving my thoughts of the film, please do comment your thoughts. Did you know this film was coming out? Are you looking forward to seeing this film? You're watching down the line, have you seen the film? And let me know your thoughts, because this is pretty special, if I'm being honest. Very, very different film to talk about, and not what I thought I'd be talking about this year, because I completely forgot this had been announced, this had been in production. And if you're new to the channel, you are thinking that this video's gone up with no notice. We tend to announce our videos through our social medias. It's the best way to find out what we're doing when we're doing it, so please do consider us following us on there. That is Twitter and Instagram at cinema_savvy, Facebook and letterboxd.com/cinemasavvy. And we've got a link to Redbubble in the description below where you can pick up some of our merch. But enough of that, let's talk Prey, because I kind of alluded to saying, unfortunately, it's going online. I'll just start with the biggest criticism of the film. It's probably the only criticism of the film I have. It's not going to be in cinemas. It's going to be streaming. There was the premiere was at San Diego Comic-Con last week, and it had really good reactions from fans. And there was a big gala in London last week where I know a lot of people that were there who absolutely loved it. And I'm going to be blunt, I just didn't realise the film was coming out. And I inquired after then, and I was very fortunate to be sent a screener by Disney to cover it for the release. And I got to watch it earlier today. Again, expectations with the Predator film, they're always pretty low because there's only been one good one until this week, until Friday. Because Prey is a film that I don't want to sit here and say it's simple. I sent a tweet actually, we're allowed to do social posts, and I put one on my account saying, it's too easy to say it's the best Predator film that's not the original because there's such a low standard, but we've got a really good Predator film, and I'm trying to take them because there's only so much you can say about a Predator film, right? You know it's about a Predator coming to Earth, you know it's going to kill some people, you know there's going to be a main character, and the story and drama comes with how they're going to kill the people, how is there going to be tension, how are you going to build to this literal Predator killing people and getting to these points. It's a really fascinating subtopic, and I have Alien in the same path where I think there's only two good Alien films, the rest nonsense if I'm being honest, and that was kind of my thoughts heading into this. I just didn't have any expectation, and when the announcement came, it might have even been the Disney Investor Day in 2020 actually. There was a code name for a film, it was not billed as Predator obviously, and then it had come out that film was actually a Predator film that was being made on the quiet, no one knew it was in production, and it sort of came out of nowhere, and kind of the film's done the same thing if I'm being honest. We're in one of the deadest summers in a very long time. Even 2020, at least we had Tenet and there was a pandemic out in July and August, but really everything's been out. I know we've got Nope in the UK, but for all intents and purposes it came out in July in America, and it's a very quiet blockbuster year. By the time this video goes up, I'll probably be in the cinema actually watching Bullet Train, which is kind of it until the end of September of major films being released at cinemas. So this is kind of I'm going to start getting aggrieved with this being put online because this should be seen at the cinema. But then you have the eternal question: how many Predator films are going to come out? Who cares about Predator films anymore? They're two big questions. I think the general audience are very tired, and I think it's a very tough sell. However, if anyone's watching this, if anyone's curious, if anyone's wanting to watch a Predator film, are we finally getting a good one? Yes, we are. And as I said, the main reason why is the brand new time setting. For the first time, it feels like you've got something new from a Predator film. I don't really want to give too much away because I hadn't even seen a trailer. I didn't know about the new characters. I didn't know about a redesign of the Predator itself via costume. I don't want to talk about weapons, but obviously it's not the 1980s, so there's no machine guns, there's no modern technology, and when it was all coming together, wow, it's actually a very, very unique way to do a film, to do a Predator film, because it's a brand new time period for us to bring in this character that we're familiar with, the concept we're very familiar with, and see how it applies to a new environment and a new time. And I've got to say, it's one of the not just the best things of the film, it's why the film works so well. And full credit to the director. Apparently, the first concept for this came when they were making the Shane Black Predators film. Obviously, it's a shame Shane Black's Predator film was terrible, but the fact this isn't just been like click of a finger, it's been done in a year of COVID. It's actually been planned for a while, and as I said, it was filming on the quiet, and it's just had this slow release, and it's been really bonkers. I know I'm sort of diverting again from the film, but we've got a Predator film that no one's speaking about, that no one even knows exists, and even the title Prey, it's a great title, but it's a tough sell to people that aren't going to know it's a Predator film. And again, I'm just so taken up by how good the film is. And I've also got to talk about the characters. So, as I mentioned, we're in a brand new era, and we're in a sort of Native American tribe, could we say. And I also want to talk about the language, actually. So I saw this film in English. You might be thinking, why is he talking about seeing the film in English? When the film comes out on Friday, if you were to stream home, you have two choices. You can watch it in English, or you can watch it in, apologies on the pronunciation, Comanche, which is the original tongue from people in that time period. And the big thing with that is that they shot the film in both languages, so that it's not like it's being dubbed. You are getting two almost performances from the cast for when there are dialogue scenes, which I thought was a really good idea. And I'm going to say I probably will see this film again if I'm being honest, because I want to watch it on a decent setup, but I would love to have seen this film in its native language, because it would have felt so different to a Predator film. And again, the film works, the film functions as a Predator film. I'm not going to sit here and talk about, oh, there was a great kill, oh, that person died wonderfully. I'm not going to do that in a review, because it's just pointless. If you want your gore, you're going to get the gore, but you're going to, even in terrible Predator films, you're going to have some stuff like that. The main drawing point for me, as I said, is the time period of this film, but also it's the direction, is that you feel there's tension, you feel like there is a Predator. It never feels like it's being overdone. And the problem is, some people may find issue with this, I personally don't. It's like the original, it's the delay and it's the unveiling of the Predator throughout the film. And I appreciate in the sequels, you could just chuck a Predator on, we all know who they are. A bit like Aliens, okay, we know what they look like, let's just bring them all in. I'm really glad they sort of dropped that. Went back to its very roots, because what it enabled you to do, it enabled you to fear it. And again, as a viewer, you probably know how the film's going to go. You know, especially a Predator film, you know. I'm not going to do any spoilers, as I said, but... And it doesn't subvert, it doesn't do anything, it's not a remake of the original, it's not subverting for the sake of it. It's a really interesting actually experience viewing this film, because it's only about 1 hour 40 as well, which time flew by, I'm going to say. And I'm going to once again say I'm annoyed I didn't get to see it at the cinema. I'm very, very envious of everyone that did. And if you think I'm waffling at this point in time, because I'm trying to still format my opinions, because it's probably one of the best... Is it even a blockbuster? I don't even know what the budget is. There's so little information out there in this film, which is kind of beautiful and sad at the same time. That, again, you don't want to overhype a film like this, because we've seen previous Predator films get overhyped and have this lackluster reward. But by bringing in like almost an unknown cast, again, a new time period, something we've not seen before, it gives them so much creative freedom for direction. For I don't know if this was on location, I'm sure this probably was. This isn't like a volume type thing. But even when we're shooting on sets, I actually felt like I was watching The Revenant, that it all feels practical, it feels real. Obviously there's CGI in there, it's a literal Predator, you can't do that for real. But there's a man in the suit, and I think it's an NFL player or a basketballer or something. So they have gone out and they are taking that traditional route to a point. But I was just completely, as I said, taken away by this. And I think it's because we've lacked so much tension, and maybe it's because we're in a dry summer as well. It's frustrating to talk about, because I really want to get into it. I want to talk about the weapons, I want to talk about the guns, I want to talk about the story points, but I really can't without spoiling anything. So apologies if this is a bit mumbo jumbo, me just praising it, because it kind of is me praising it, because it should be praised, because it's a bloody fantastic film. And it's one of the better films from this just summer as a whole. This year, it's probably sitting in my top 10 if I was to go through my 2022 rankings. And again, not knowing anything about it, going in cold, that really helped my experience. But talking of the experience, again, you're watching at home, and not to moan about getting screens, we're always very grateful when we get them on the channel. When you have your email address, I don't know if anyone saw Elizabeth Olsen article recently. She said that she refused to watch Doctor Strange at home because they embedded her email across the front. That's what happens on online screeners if you can't go in person, or if they do online ones. So it was very weird watching a Predator film with just my name and email just slap bang in the middle, and it did take me out of it at times. So I want to give it a proper go on Friday. When it's online, I can watch it properly in 4K. I'll switch to the other language and all that sort of stuff, because this is a fantastic film. And I don't want to say the word beautiful. That film, I use that a bit too much, but the cinematography in this, I think, is exceptional. The way the scenes are lit, the way they're set up, the way the framing is. I know cinematography is a term overused so much now, but even the way they shoot the Predator, it's in a very, not a documentary aesthetic, but sometimes you spend a lot of time with people and it can feel like it's not been storyboarded, which I know Spielberg does a lot. And I just think action in this film is shot differently. There's a variety. We're not seeing the same old thing being regurgitated. And the most favourite thing I have with these kind of films, of action films, is when you actually have intelligence. And it's not intelligence to the writer, to the director. It's more so to the characters, to the story, that they're not treating us as a dumb audience. They're setting up things very much in advance earlier in the film. You know, the classic trope, you see something, you expect it to come back up later on. You can apply it to this. But it's just done in such a fresh way. It's given life to the Predator films. Now, I'm not going to go and rewatch all the others. I might rewatch the first one because I'm really tempted to now. But I'm going to jump on that bandwagon and say, yes, this is the best Predator film since the original. But that's a discredit to Prey to say that, because this is far closer to the original than this is to any of the sequels or spin-offs. I don't even know if you count any versus Predator anymore. This is one I think people are going to really enjoy. This is one where there's potential for sequels. I'd rather not, but then again, if they just want to pick a random time point in history to a Predator film, you're onto something there. But again, full credit to the director for this, to the cast for being involved. I think it was a very nuanced performance as well from the leads in it. And it's just something different. And again, we've not really seen representation not in films, that's a ridiculous term, but it's done in a very unique way in this. And what I'd be very curious for is when the American reviews go up, if we can find some channels that do have that representation, because I'm really intrigued to see how it comes across. And again, seeing the film available in 2 different languages, I think it's a great way to bring in the general audience. It's a great way to bring the people that want to watch it traditionally, and it also does credit to the people that involved in this, that have made this film, who are acting in this film. I know that some films have done that in the past, but not normally action films, so I think that's as much as I can say without giving anything away. And I said it's very tricky, but I hope you understand that I've liked this film, because I really like this film, and I'm going to be telling a lot of people to watch it this weekend, because there's really not much out. I know Bullet Train's out, I know Nope's out next week here, so we're finally going to get the chance to watch it. But what I will say is go into Prey with a very open mind, and I think you'll be blown away by it. As I said, streaming on Disney Plus in the UK, Hulu in America, it's all the same thing. But from this Friday, so please do that. And as I said, comment below your thoughts. Comment your thoughts on the Predator films. Maybe you're sick and tired of them. Did you want another one? Did you want them to end? I'm curious to know all your thoughts on that, so please do get involved. Comment those thoughts, hit the subscribe button, and again, if you want to find out about our socials, where we are, you can get all that in the description. That's Twitter and Instagram at cinema_savvy, Facebook and letterboxd.com/cinemasavvy. A link to Redbubble as well. I'm trying to think what else I need to plug. We've had so many videos pre-recorded and things aren't pre-recorded. We've had Saving Private Ryan review go up yesterday. We've had a discussion on the Andor trailer, so if you're a fan of Star Wars, you can check that out. And we've got, as I said, Bullet Train at some point this week. We've got Nope next week. Arsenal All or Nothing has started airing tomorrow, so there might be a review when that series is done in mid-August. And yeah, it's a very dry summer, but there's a lot more things on the way. And the Steven Spielberg retrospective is the big thing we're plugging for the year. So every Tuesday, do join us for a Steven Spielberg retrospective. And we are starting to plan ahead for the Bond 60th. Also, a lot of things happening with Bond. So, as I said, this has been myself, George, doing a video very late at night, by the way. It's way past midnight recording this, if you can't tell by me being quieter and rushing at the same time. So, thank you all for watching, for commenting, for being involved. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.